So,
Hello
welcome
everyone,
back to
welcome back
another
to Legally
episode of
Speaking
Legally
with
Speaking with
Rusticates. Today we're
Rusticates, where
diving
we
into a
dive
really
into the
important
evolving world of
conversation,
law and its
legal rights
intersection
in
with
domestic
innovation.
violence cases in
Today, we're
India.
exploring a
Domestic
topic that's
violence is a harsh
transforming the legal
reality for many,
landscape
but
in
what
India:
often gets
the
overlooked
future
is
of
that
legal
there are
tech.
strong legal
From
protections
AI
in
powered
place
legal
to
research
help
to virtual
survivors seek
courtrooms,
justice and
technology
safety.
is
The
reshaping how
problem?
professionals
Many
work,
people don't know their
how
rights
clients
or where
access
to start.
justice, and how
That's
cases are
why we
decided.
have a special guest with
But
us today,
what does this
Advocate
mean for
Pranay,
traditional legal
who is an
practices? Are
experienced
we ready for the
lawyer
digital
with a
revolution
strong
in law?
background in civil
To
law,
unpack
family
these questions
disputes,
and more,
check bounce
I'm
cases,
joined by
child
Advocate
custody,
Vinayak
and
Bhatia,
matrimonial matters.
engineer turned
As a member
advocate
of the
known
Pune
for
Bar
his expertise
Association,
in
he's
tech
been
law,
providing
criminal law, and
expert
property
legal
disputes,
advice
and
and
spoke on
representation for years.
importance of creating
Today,
a
he will
just
help us
legal
break down
framework.
the legal
So
protections
whether you're a
available,
lawyer,
how
entrepreneur,
survivors
or
can
just
take
curious
action,
about how
and what
technology
steps
is
can be taken
redefining the
to
law,
ensure justice is
this
served.
episode is
So, first
packed
of
with
all, welcome,
insights
sir,
you
to our
won't want to miss.
podcast.
So let's get
I would
started.
like to
Firstly,
start
welcome
the
to the podcast,
conversation
Advocate
by
Vinayak.
you giving us an
Thank you
overview
so
of
much,
the
Ms.
laws in
Rachana.
India and
Yeah.
how have
So
they
my first
evolved over
question
the
then to
years? What
begin
has
this
been the
podcast
evolution
would
of
be
domestic violence laws?
sharing
As we
your
see, this act
perspective
was
on
enacted
how
in the
you
year
think legal tech
2005,
scene has
and
evolved over the
initially,
past few years,
the
and
victim of
what are
domestic
the
violence
significant changes that
were
you have
completely relied
observed.
on the sections of IPC like
Okay,
Section
so
498A,
over the years, like there
wherein
has
they
been a
were only
remarkable
able to file a
transformation
FIR against the
from
respondents,
paper-based
whoever has caused them
industry
domestic
to a
violence.
digital industry.
But after the enactment of
Over
this act,
the
now they
like
are
earlier,
getting so many reliefs
earlier
like
when I was in
residence
practice, I've
order,
seen
protection
like
order, maintenance order.
people carrying
So
big
initially,
files,
all the
big
victims of
bags
domestic
containing
violence were
files
relying on the
from
IPC
one
sections,
courtroom to another.
as I said earlier. And
Following
there
the
was a need, and as
basically
per
they were
Article
interns
15
and
of the Constitution
mostly
of
they
Act,
were
government has the
assisting some
power
senior advocate
to
and
bring any
they
new
would be
law
just
for,
carrying the
especially
file
for the
from
protection
one
of
place
the
to another.
women.
So now
So they have used it at the
basically
correct
like
time,
one
I must say.
laptop or one
Okay. And
tablet
so
can carry
how does
multiple
this law,
files.
which is
So this
protection
is
of
the best
women
thing which
against
I have observed
domestic
so far.
violence, differ from
Even
other
like
laws
coming to
that take
other things
consideration of
like AI
domestic
research,
violence?
contract
Is there any
automation, digital
difference in
dispute
those two?
Yeah,
resolution.
definitely there is a
These
difference
all things are
between
there, but
Domestic Violence
the
Act and
best
another
thing
laws.
which had happened
As
over
we
the
see
transformation
that
was
the
the
name of this act is
e-courts project
Protection
or
of
the
Women
virtual
from
courts
Domestic Violence Act
which had
2005,
been launched by
and
the
the word
government during
used
COVID.
is women.
Yeah.
So
Right.
whoever who is married, or
So,
if any girl is
according to
staying with
you,
her
what are the
boyfriend or
main
parents,
reasons behind
whoever is
the
staying in
rise
shared
of
household
legal
or
tech
are in
startups in
domestic
India?
relationship, can
And
file a case
how
under
has the
Section 12 of the
government
DV
policies
Act,
and
and
digitization
wherein
efforts
this act is
contributed to this growth?
made or enacted in the year
See,
2005, and after that
the
they
main
all
key
are
factor
getting the
which
reliefs
I
like
believe to
maintenance
be driving all
Okay.
of
and
this is time
protection
value
order.
proposition.
Okay. So, like you mentioned,
If I can
this
save my time
act is
and
not just
spend it
limited
on
to a
other
married
cases
household, but it
or
can
with
be
my family,
extended to any
I
shared
would be
household. Is that
happily
correct?
taking that.
Yeah,
Right.
If
any
Even
women, any
technology
even
women.
can
if a
reduce
woman is
my
living with her
work,
parents, she can
I'm
also go and
open to
complain
accepting it.
if she's
I'm
Definitely.
ready to pay for it.
okay. That's
But
interesting to
over the
know.
year, like the
Um,
other
In-laws can
driving
file a case
forces
against
which have been
daughter-in-law.
is
okay.
from the government
Yeah,
was
Achha.
firstly
mother-in-law.
this
Okay.
e-courts
Okay.
project, then
That is
virtual
interesting. I
courts,
did not know that.
then the
What are the
realization
forms
of
of
that
domestic
a
violence
huge backlog
recognized
is
under Indian law?
remaining in the judicial
And
system.
do they go
About
beyond physical abuse
the over
also?
50 million cases
Yeah,
are still
initially
pending,
domestic violence
in
meaning
are still in
for layman
pendency.
was
They
like
are being
only
delayed or whatever for
physical
whatever reasons
violence.
they
Right.
are.
But there are
Then there's
the
corporate
definition of
demand of
domestic violence
compliances
is
and
discussed
automation.
in Section 3
Everyone wants
of the
AI to
said act,
do all the
which
basic
speaks about
clerical
domestic
work for
violence
them.
and its types.
And
So there are four
lastly,
types of
which I
domestic
feel
violence,
is legal
like
awareness
physical
and
violence, economic
accessibility. As in,
violence,
like the litigants
sexual
are
violence,
getting more and
Right.
more
and
aware
mental
about their
violence.
rights
Okay.
and
Okay. And what are
apart
the
from
immediate remedies that
getting
are
aware, like
available
they
to a
also have
victim of
access to
domestic
legal
violence?
marketplaces these
So,
days.
what can be done
Let's say
immediately?
Law Legal Card,
If at all,
among
if any woman
others,
is suffering
have
any
including
kind
yours,
of
like they
domestic
people
violence
come to
from
you
any of the
and
respondents, so that would be
you would help
husband,
them to connect to
mother,
advocates or law firms
even
wherever
father
like
or
their requirements
boyfriend,
would go.
and if she is suffering from any type
Apart
of
from
violence,
that,
she immediately has
even
to
the
file a complaint
courts,
to police
even
station,
the courts
or
are
even
seeing
she can
it
go
as
directly to the
the
protection
courts
order
are opening
Right.
to
like
get the protection order to
I would say
protection
courts
officers.
are
Right.
welcoming
Right.
technology with an
And
open
does this
arm.
differ from state to state,
In
or
fact,
is it
there
same
have
all
been a
across
lot of
India?
initiatives
It's
taken
same
by
across. It's same
the
across.
various courts, including Supreme
And
Court
how can
and
victims
various high
seek
courts,
protection
to
orders,
include AI
precedence
and
orders,
other
or
digital
monetary relief under this act?
projects in them.
she has to file
So
a case
recently,
before
Supreme Court
magistrate,
has launched its
or she
own
can go directly
research,
to protection
this
officer,
case law research
where he is
engine,
supposed to
which is pretext based
put in
and
everything,
can actually you
like
can
what
access
incidents occurred
all the
with
high
her.
courts
That is
as
called
well
as
as there.
domestic incident report. It is DIR.
So apart from that,
So
other
a woman can file directly
other things are
application before
which are
magistrate,
at play is
or even any other
promotion
person can
of
also
online
file
dispute
a case on
resolution.
behalf of her
This
Okay.
if required.
Niti Ayog had
And
formulated a committee
when we come
back
to
some
the
time,
role of a
and
police officer,
they had
what
given
role do they play in
they
these
had given
cases?
a
And are they obligated to act
they
immediately
have
when they
stated in
receive
the
a
report
complaint?
that online dispute
Uh,
resolution should be
Actually, police
promoted
officers
to
play a
a
vital
greater
role
extent.
for execution of this law,
Right,
if we see.
right, right.
So,
As I
I
said
mean, you
earlier, for
kind of touched
execution of this law
upon
or
this,
for the
which was
enforcement,
going to be my next
there are
question to you.
magistrates, there are
So,
protection
in terms
officers,
of
there are
innovative
shelter
solutions, right?
homes, and
What do you
police
think are the
officers,
main
police mustache. So
challenges
these are completely
in
different
the
authorities
industry
Right.
that
who are
these
required
legal
and
tech
who has a
startups
vital role
are
for
able
execution
to
of this law
solve
in society.
through
Okay,
innovation?
okay. And is there anything
But
where
legal,
these officers have to be
that
women,
is
or is there
again the
any
time value
such
proposition
rule
which
there?
they are
So it's
presenting.
not mandatory
Right.
that if
Then
the women go to police
the
station,
other
then
solutions which
the
are
complaint
there,
has to be
which
written
are
by
out there,
women only.
is our
Any police officer can
AI powered legal research
plays
engines,
a role.
Okay,
Case
okay.
Mine, and in fact
And
Manupatra and
when
SEC
could you
Online, they
elaborate
are
the
involving
process
this
of
AI
filing an
for better
FIR
research
and how
outcomes
do you
and
do it in domestic
for
violence cases?
a better research,
See,
I would say.
as I said earlier,
Right.
whenever the victim was
Then
suffering from any
the
type of
contract
violence, she used
automation
to
and
move
e-signing
her
is there.
application, or she has to approach to the
So
police station. Then they
we
used to get or lodge a FIR against
blockchain
in-laws
is
under
something
section 498. And if at
which
all
is forming the basis of
women
contract.
is suffering
Blockchains,
from any type of
if you're aware,
violence,
like they
like
would
as I
be
discussed under section
like
3A,
chains
Yeah.
of events.
in some
They would be
cases she might
interlinked, and
only feel
you,
or
if you
only
disturb
threatened
one,
by
all the
in-laws,
chains of events
or
just
if
break.
Yeah.
she is deprived of her
So
right of being
it
maintained by
provides a
husband,
two-way
she has to
authentication
move an
towards
application
the
under
data
section
that is
12
being kept
of the
and stored.
Protection of
So
Act
no
2005
illegal or
before
no
magistrate, and
unwanted
then seek
changes can be made
reliefs
without
Correct.
proper
as per
authority
section
in that.
17, 18, 19,
Yeah,
20.
it ensures
Then
Okay.
encryption also.
And when we talk
correct
about the
that
rights of victims, you know,
encryption, yes,
what
definitely
kind of
blockchain provides
legal
that.
rights do they have? So I
But
think you
that is
mentioned about
encryption
them
is
having
actually
a
a layer
shelter
over the
and access to
blockchains.
that.
Yeah.
Apart from
Yeah.
this, what other rights or
Okay,
what other
then
things
like
does
ODRs
the
are
court
coming.
provide a
Hmm.
victim with?
There's like SAMA,
Most importantly,
which
if the
is
woman is
actually
not working
promoting
and doesn't
ODR
have any
online. They
source
say
of
like
income,
they can
then
resolve any
she can
dispute
claim
within 30
maintenance
days
under
through
this
mediation.
act
Okay.
Right.
as per section
They
20.
use
And section
they are
17
like
and
very much
19
technology
deals
driven
with
these
residence
days,
order.
and
So
that is
in
also
some
one of
cases, if the woman
good
is
thing
staying
which
with
I've
in-laws,
seen.
then she
The
may
one of
get
an innovative
order from the
solution.
honorable
Hmm.
court
So their
that she
market
will
share
not be
as of
evicted
today
from the
is
said
a
house.
bit lower,
Okay. Okay.
but people
And another section
do not
about
trust
section 19 of the
mediation. That
DV Act,
is one of an
in
issue
which
which I've seen.
respondents are directed to provide
Mediation,
the
or
same
like
type of
people do not
residence,
prefer
alternate
going outside the
accommodation for
court because
her.
they think
Which they were earlier
anything
living
which
in
has been
similar
settled outside
times.
the
Yeah,
court
yeah,
can be
yeah.
challenged tomorrow
And
within the court.
when it comes to
Right.
legal aid, so for example, someone is
So
not
apart
able
from
to
that,
afford
the
legal
other
fees. Is there
like the
any
issues,
kind
the
of
main issue in
avenue for
accepting the
that?
technology, which I see
Yeah,
today,
at every
is the
courts,
mindset
there is a
of
completely
us
different
advocates.
department like legal aid,
In a way,
Yeah.
we are like
wherein the
we
advocates
are
who
very
are empaneled
calculative,
there get
and
opportunity
we would calculate each and
to
everything.
fight a
How,
case
like
on behalf of
if
the victim of
some
DV Act.
solution is
And does
brought to
this
me,
also then affect
so whether
child
like the
custody? So, for
intern which
example,
have
if in a
which
household
who
there
to
has
whom
been
I'm
any kind
the
of
intern
domestic
or my
violence,
junior
then
associate to whom
does this also
might be
extend to
paying
the child
way
custody,
lesser
where then the
than the
custody
market
automatically
standard,
goes to the woman?
can perform that
No, it
job
doesn't go
at a
automatically. Actually, section
in a
21 of the
better way,
DV Act
or
speaks
like
about
a
the
similar
access.
way,
Right.
but
If
it's
at
more
all any
like
of the
the
parent is
value which I'm
wish
getting
to
for the money
claim
I'm
for
paying.
custody, then he has to file or she has to file different
Advocates are
case.
not that
So that is
open,
But yeah,
separate.
like are not
yeah,
welcoming
but it's
technology that
it deals with
openly,
access,
but
temporary
in
access,
time, yes,
Okay.
and custody
things
of
would
Right.
consent,
change.
Okay. Right.
temporary.
And talking
Yeah,
about
like I
now,
think
can a victim
even
pursue both
rest the case
criminal
being in
charges
this space,
and
we're
relief
also
under Domestic
catering
Violence Act,
towards
or
our
does
main
this
aim
Yeah.
here is to
engage
cater
both?
At
towards
the same
making
time,
law
both cases are
accessible
going
to
on as
everyone
per my
and
experience.
easily accessible.
Right.
And by
Women, when
using
she is
technologies help to do
was
that. And I
witnessed by
think
in-laws,
in
then
any for
she,
anyone
in a
that
number
should
of
be the
cases, she
main
has filed
aim here,
FIR
and I
under
think in the
section
legal space
498.
we should take the help of
earlier
technology
IPC.
to make it
And
easily
she
accessible for
also
everyone,
claims
and so
residence
that
order,
everyone
protection order,
knows
maintenance order
what is happening and
Under-
everyone can
under this
access
DB
law
Act.
easily.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Whether it
can
be
happen
litigants, lawyers,
simultaneously.
anyone,
Yeah.
um,
And
citizens
if you can walk
of
us
the
through
country.
some of, in your experience,
So
what are some of the
then,
common challenges that
since you're
victims
talking about
face,
innovative solutions,
while
let's also talk
going
about, because
through
you
these
also
domestic
said that
violence
lawyers
cases
are
or these
hesitant
laws?
to kind of adapt
Actually,
technology in
any
their
litigants,
practice.
I must say,
Um,
not only
are
the
there
victim in the
concerns
domestic
about
violence, but any
technology
litigants who are
replacing
in,
certain legal
who are
roles?
staying in India
And how do you
are
see
facing the
that
same
kind
problem.
of
That is the
taking,
old burden of
shape?
the cases on
Correct.
judiciary.
I do
Right.
not see technology replacing
And this
any
is the
advocate,
main
Yeah.
any
difficulty
efficient
where
advocate, I would say.
she gets the order
Right.
or reliefs
So
after a while.
technology,
So even if they file a
in my
case
personal,
immediately and the police say take action, but
in
the
my
case is probably
personal
going on for
opinion,
a very
the
long time,
technology is
and justice is
always
not
always increases the
received
productivity of a
on
Yeah,
person.
as per
It
as
cannot
per
replace a
the
person
section in
as
the
of
DB Act,
today,
it has to
or
be
I would say
completed
for
within
next
3
20,
months.
30 years at
But it's
least.
practically not possible.
The
doesn't
jobs
happen
of
like that.
advocates
Doesn't happen this way.
And do you
requires
think
personal
social
touch, a
stigma,
human touch,
family pressure
and needs to understand the
influences
emotions,
a
the other
victim's decision to report this
peripherals
in the first
which
place?
are there,
Yeah,
like
It
which the
happens.
computer or
but
the
the number
technology
of
would miss.
cases now
The
which we see in
technology
courts are
can
increasing day by
actually
day because
replace
of the
those
awareness of that,
clerical
Right,
jobs,
right.
those
awareness
admin
of the
jobs,
rights which women is getting
but it
nowadays.
cannot replace lawyers.
So
So
the
Right.
time has
you
changed
think
now.
it's slowly reducing the stigma, or
Right.
people are
Okay.
coming forward now and
So,
reporting these
we
cases?
also then talked
Yeah.
about, you
Okay.
briefly touched
And
upon
are there
online
any
dispute
provisions to
resolution.
protect victims
And
from any
how do you think
retaliation
online
by
dispute
the
resolution
accused
is going to
during
help
legal
in
proceedings?
improving
If at
access
all
to
any
legal
of the
services? Do you think that
respondent,
there is a
if we
correlation
take the
there?
example that if the protection order is passed in favor of the
Yeah.
victim, that
So
is applicant,
on that
and if any
note,
of the respondent breach that
as
order,
like mentioned
Right.
earlier,
then
there
that
are over 50
woman, that
million
victim has
cases which
to
are in
file
pendencies.
NC
Yeah.
against that person.
In fact,
And after the breaching of this order, then
in
she has
my
to
personal
file one
experience,
different
any
criminal
case would go for
application
at least
before
3
the
to 4
same
years
judge.
Right.
in the
And
courtroom.
under section 31
That
of
is
the
when
act,
Okay.
so there is
one of the
1 year
party,
punishment
one
for
of the
breaching
like
of the protection order.
litigant
Okay.
is vigilant,
And in this whole
and they
scenario,
are doing
how do
like all the due
social
diligence and
workers or
timely
NGOs
filing
or
the
these
like all the applications,
organizations
all the
play
necessary
a role in
documents.
supporting domestic
So
violence victims?
3 4 years is a long
There are
time. Let's say like if your property is in dispute, someone
NGOs
has
in
taken a
society we see
illegal
that
possession
who
of it. Would
specially
you prefer
works
waiting for
for
3 4 years
the
just to like ask them to vacate
rights
it,
of the women,
Yeah.
Right.
or would you, if
and they play a
available to
vital
you,
role
a
in
same
getting justice
solution
to the
can
victim of
like
the
there's a
DV.
resolution
So
that can
Victims,
be
I am assuming
achieved
those
through
who don't come
mediation
from
or
a very
arbitration.
good
Right.
background,
So
or
you
they
definitely prefer
come from
that. So even
economically they are
mediation,
not as
the
strong.
government
yeah,
has
they
been always
helps.
promoting
Yeah.
the alternate
And
dispute resolutions
now let's touch
over the
upon a
traditional
broader
court
perspective.
methodologies.
Right now we've been
The
talking about
reason being is
domestic
these are
violence
fast.
from
Even
women's
arbitration is
perspective, and
time
even a
bound.
law just speaks about women.
Once the
But as
pleadings
we
are
know,
complete
in
within a
today's
year,
world,
the
we're looking
award
at a
needs to be
more
given by the
gender neutral
arbitrator.
world.
Mediation again, they are
So,
like
are
session
there any
based. They are
specific provisions
not
for
time bound per
male
se, but
victims of domestic
the
violence and abuse in India?
pace at
What
which
does
the
the law
mediation
say about
moves,
that?
or the how mediator takes
Actually,
the things in
as
that
this the name
actually
of this
defines a
act is
lot.
protection
And a
of
Yeah.
victim,
mediation can
Yeah.
and there is one
these
case
mediation
of
can actually
Honorable High
help
Court
solve
of Madhusudan
a lot of
Bharadwaj,
problem.
Hmm.
Now
where
coming
it
to
was
online
held by
dispute
Honorable High
resolution,
Court
which is
that
the key topic.
now the time has come to
So
see
in
who is
that
the real sufferer of the domestic violence.
everything
So
Right.
in
from
number
like
of cases,
appointing of the
even males
arbitrator, the
are a victim
arbitrator
of
would,
domestic
I would
violence.
Yeah.
So
be on a
personally, I
bit
think that
distant
there
side. I
should
would
be
say
one act
mediation. Like let's keep it for mediation. The
needs to be
ODRs, we
enacted
are
for
talking about
men
mediation.
also.
Correct.
As
So
we
now,
see on social
what would be a
media
requirement
nowadays,
of a mediation?
so many
That
people
the
are
mediator is of a
causing,
is a neutral person.
suicides
He
and
hears
these
both
all things.
parties and
But now they are
he
focused.
helps
Means
them to come to
they
an
have been
amicable
brought to
solution.
the before
He
media
cannot pass an
and before
award in
society.
the mediation,
Yeah.
but
But
he can actually
both requires the
bring
same thing,
both parties to
Right, right.
I
consensus.
guess.
So
So,
in order to be like,
then we
in
also
order to
talk
find
about
out that whether
LGBTQ plus
person would be neutral
individuals,
in that case or
where
would be a
they
good fit
also
in that
get
case.
kind of lost in this
So
whole
on
discussion
online
because
dispute resolution, let's
the
say
law
like
only talks about
an
women and
XYZ
women's
new
protection.
platform comes.
So whether
It
it's
says
men or
that
it's
both
any
parties
other
come and
members
register
of the
to us. We
society,
have a
they're
database
kind
of
of getting overlooked
people
in
who are
this
willing to
whole
be mediators.
scenario.
They have a certain
So,
skill set, and
according
from
to
that
you, do you you think there's
we
a
will
need for
find the best
reform
one, a
of
neutral
these
person
domestic
to
violence
decide your
laws?
case. And that would also
Yeah,
bring a sincerity,
definitely.
like
As I
assurance to
said
the
that
litigants or to the
women
people who are
word is
pursuing
used in this
mediation.
Yeah.
act.
Yeah.
that
So
yes, this
whoever is
person is
staying
neutral
along
and will
with
help
boyfriend
me
also,
get
she is
a
also
solution, or
she
like
can file a
might be able
complaint
to
Yeah.
under
help
section
us get
612
come to a
of the
consensus.
DP Act. So likewise, nowadays
So
everybody is
wrapping it
talking
up,
about
online
equality,
dispute
Correct.
resolution is a new
gender
thing
equality.
Mhm.
So
which is
then
being
there has to
promoted
be some
rapidly,
laws for
but
others
the
also, I guess.
Correct. I
acceptability
mean, that's a
is
whole another
yet to come.
conversation about how so many of our
The
laws
general
need to
public
be
needs
more
to
gender
accept that
neutral, and we
yes,
need
this
to
is
work upon
an
a lot of such
alternative to
laws,
the
not just
traditional
domestic
method,
violence,
and
but I
it is
think
as
a lot
effective
of
as
there are so many laws which
the traditional
specify a
methods,
gender, and I think
provided the
completely gender
award,
neutral.
the
But
like
I
a
think that's
consent which
another
has come
podcast
to a
that we will
mediator
do
Yeah.
on another
is
day.
actually executable before the court.
And then
You
do
can
you
go
think
for directly
what advice
execution,
would you
saving
give
yourself
as
3
a
4
lawyer
years of getting that
if
decree or
of someone
award
who's
which
experiencing
has come
domestic
through a
violence? What is the first
negotiation
step
or
they
like
should
just
do to
talks.
seek legal help?
So in a long run, it is always better like
If at all,
people
if
prefer alternate
anybody
dispute
is
resolutions.
suffering from any type
So,
of violence,
when we
then
talk about legal
first of
tech,
all, personally, I think
technology,
that
there are certain
she should
concerns which
try
come up
to resolve the
automatically,
issue in the
like
house only,
data privacy, or
because it takes some time
even when we
to get
speak about
released.
especially legal
And if at
tech,
all the
there's
violence
regulatory
continues, then
compliance,
definitely she
and
has
then
to raise the
resistance to
voice and
change
file a
from
case.
certain,
Right.
She should not think about anything
bodies
what
in
society
India.
will say,
So, how do you
because
see
she is
this
the only one who is
impacting
suffering.
the
No one is going to
progress of
suffer.
legal tech?
So definitely she has to
And
raise the voice at that
what are
time.
your views on
Right,
it?
right.
I
And
think
how can
challenge,
family
every new
members or
thing
anyone
definitely
nearby
comes with
support
its own challenges.
these victims? Do you
Legal
think
tech
in this
industry
scenario?
is just is
If
just born in India,
the
I would say.
woman, if the victim of DV,
And
domestic
yes,
violence, is
definitely
not
data
able
privacy concerns
by
are
some or
always,
other
they have
reason
been
to
always there.
file and to lodge any complaint,
So
Yeah.
then
before
any relative,
we
any
dive in
friend
that
can
further,
file a
I would
case
like
on behalf of her.
the data
Okay.
privacy concern,
And
this
for
data
proving
privacy
the
bill,
case
which
in
had
before law,
come
then
up
they has
Yeah.
to
sometime
come
back,
as a witness.
Right.
Then that
it
will
actually
be called
caters
as a
all
real
the
support for
needs
her.
Right, right. Agreed.
which
And
are like which are
according to
required to be
you,
complied
how do you think
properly.
legal
Right.
professionals
That's
or judiciary
your
can
data is
ensure
confidential,
more
so there
effective
would be a manner it
implementation
needs
of
to be
these
stored
laws?
on the
What do you
cloud,
think additionally
where it should
needs
be
to be
having
done?
certain level of encryption. It should not be accessible. So
For
there are like
effective
good engineering practices
enforcement
to
of this
ensure
law,
that
the
the
time
data
which
privacy concerns
nowadays
are
we all are
reduced, or like
taking
the people
for
be
giving
assured
relief
that
in
that
every
data is
authority,
safe.
including
The,
police,
the
including
only way
judiciary,
to
that
access a
should be
cloud is through
reduced.
an ID and
Right.
password.
Then only
And if you keep
she
that
will
ID
get
password
justice in
safe, your
time.
data would be
Okay.
safe.
Yeah, yeah. And
Right.
could you share some success stories
So
where, like
what you're saying is that
domestic
there are
violence
in future there are
survivors
laws
have
that will
gotten
come
proper
which will
justice
cater to
when
these
they've been
concerns.
provided?
Yeah, in
Most
one of my
likely,
case
yes.
in the year
Till
2016,
2025, I'm
I
expecting
filed one
the
case
act to
on
be
behalf of the
formulated.
women
Right.
Okay.
Right.
who was around
Okay.
It
75
is still
years
in
old.
parliament under
Okay.
discussion.
And
Right.
she
Yeah.
was separated from her
Then when
husband
we talk
Hmm.
about
from
the
1964.
investments that
Okay.
are happening in
So she
legal tech
married
field,
in
do you think
1962. She
investors
gave
have
birth to
become
a
more
baby girl.
interested
Yeah.
in
That was the
startups
reason
like these
because of which
recently?
her husband banished her from the her
Yes, a
family,
lot
her
of
house,
new
and she
VCs are
was left
coming up,
with no option but to
and
stay
they
with her
are
relatives,
actually
brother and another
actively
sisters.
willing to invest in legal
And I filed this case in
technology,
the year
Yeah.
2016
especially with the
under this
intervention
DP
of
Act.
AI,
Though
especially
this act
after I
was
would
enacted in the year
specifically mark the time
2005
the
and came
introduction
into
of
force in
ChatGPT
2006,
in the
but it
market.
has the retrospective effect.
So
Correct.
Right, right.
Chat
So after
GPT, like
filing that
it has
case,
improved
then
itself
the
over the
matter
years,
was resolved,
and right now
and that
using
husband
those
paid her 20
models,
lakhs
new
rupees
softwares are being
Okay.
as
formed,
a
new algorithms are
compromise
being
amount
made,
or lump sum
which
amount
are
for her.
helping out
So
That's
she got justice
the
after
advocates
52 years.
in a
That's
manner
really
like they
amazing. I mean, it's
cannot
good to see. We were talking about
anticipate.
how, judiciary takes time, but this is
Right.
But
another
it
an
again,
example
like
Yeah,
of
another
there
example.
are cases where, you
business
can
is
get
all about
justice
taking a risk,
Yeah.
even
and
after
yes,
many
people
years.
see a
So it
potential,
doesn't
But
and
matter.
I
the industry
must say that
today is
everybody
huge.
should have
So
belief and faith in
investments,
judiciary,
they
Yes,
would be
yes, that's
flowing,
for sure.
because
and
that
yes,
is the right place where you will
coming to
get
a point
justice.
that
That's true. That is very rightly
I
said.
myself
And with
am an
that, I mean, this
entrepreneur
was
in
my
legal
last
tech.
question to you. Do you have anything
So
else to
I
add?
have
Any
developed
ending
this
thoughts, closing thoughts
a soft this application which
on
can
this?
actually create
Whoever is
seamless
suffering from any
timelines
type of
and
violence, they should raise their voice. They
Yeah.
should not keep
what you
quiet
call
Right.
the
as what
document
the society will
classification, and
think.
you can chat
Yeah.
with those
Because
features. So Actually, yes.
as per
So
section 2A
witnessing
of the said
firsthand,
act,
I'm getting
aggrieved woman
like
whoever
offers
stayed
for
with
investments in that as well.
respondents
Right.
under
people are very aware these
same
days,
share household or
and
domestic
they
relationship.
are moving towards that.
They are the
Right.
agreed woman.
So,
And even
you
the
know,
child,
talking
if the
about
child is
in a
minor
future
and they are
sense,
staying with her mother,
one
and if
common
she doesn't have
criticism
any type
that
of source of
lawyers
income,
get
then
is that they are
she's
slow
left
to
with the option
adopt
but to file a
technology.
case.
And there's a lot of
And this
you know
act is
resistance
the
to
blessing definitely
adopting
for the women.
technology.
Right.
So,
Right.
what
And
advice
one
would
more
you
thing
give
I would like
to
to
such
add, as the
advocates?
purpose of this
And
enactment of this act
how do
was
you
to
change this mindset?
safeguard the rights of the victim of the
This
domestic violence,
mindset
Mm.
can
and it was
only
supposed to be
be
used as
changed
a shield.
through
Mm.
leading through
But in
examples.
some of the cases, it is used as a
So
spear.
I would
So there
say
is a
just
misuse of the
take a
laws also.
free
Yeah.
subscription, and
So this should be
thereafter,
taken into
like if it
consideration.
Yeah.
There should
helps
not
you
be
out,
misuse of law.
it is and
Correct.
saves your
Both is
time
equally
and increases your
important.
productivity.
Correct. I completely agree with you.
Then
And
obviously
on that
I
note, I think
believe
we've come to
that
the
the
end of
lawyer
today's
who would
discussion.
once do that won't
This has been
stop
such an
using the
important
technology then.
discussion,
Right,
and
right.
we hope
So
it has
it's
given you a
about
clearer
trying it for
understanding
the first
of
time,
the
and
legal
then they
rights
will
available
realize
to
the benefits
survivors
of
of
it.
domestic violence in India.
And in
A
your
big thank you
experience,
to you,
how has
Advocate Pranay,
technology
for
made your
sharing their
legal work easier?
expertise and breaking down these legal complexities
I
in
have
such
been
a
using
simple and practical
ChatGPT
way.
for quite a
If
while,
you or someone is facing domestic violence,
and
please don't hesitate to reach out for
yes,
help. Legal support is there, and
so
you're not alone.
mostly
If this
I prefer
episode
AI or
resonated with you,
ChatGPT
share it with
when
someone who
I'm
might need
drafting
it.
or
And of
when
course,
I
subscribe for more
have to
conversations that matter.
think through the
Take care,
case.
stay informed,
Right.
and
Basically,
remember, knowledge
creating
is power.
I would
Thank you.
say
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Legally Speaking with Rest the
creating a
Case. Today,
path
we're diving into a
of
really important
how the
conversation:
case should
legal
flow,
rights in
how the
domestic
facts
violence
are
cases
there,
in
what
India.
am I missing?
Domestic violence
Because
is a
I'm
harsh
also a human
reality
at
for
the end of the
many.
day.
But what
I might
often
be
gets
overseeing some
overlooked
things
is
which
that there
the
are strong
technology
legal
might catch.
protections in
Yeah.
place to help
So
survivors seek
I
justice
have
and safety.
incorporated
The problem?
the use of
Many people
ChatGPT
don't
so
know their
far in my
rights or where
practice,
to start.
and
Right.
I've been using
That's
it for
why we
drafting
have a
and
special
improving
guest
the
with us
content.
today,
Plus,
Right.
Advocate
legal
Pranay,
research
who is
is
an
also
experienced lawyer with a
it also
strong
helps a
background in
lot in
civil
legal
law,
research as
family
well.
disputes,
Right.
check
You
bounce
input
cases,
questions and it will
child
find you
custody,
proper
and matrimonial
authenticated
matters.
sources to
As a
validate
member of the
whatever
Pune
it's
Bar
saying.
Association, he's
Right.
been providing
So,
expert
according to
legal
you, how does
advice and
India's legal
representation
tech
for years.
industry right now
Today, he
compare
will
to
help
other
us break down
countries?
the legal protections
Um,
available, how
where do we
survivors can
stand
take
when we
action,
talk about a
and what
global
steps can be
scenario?
taken to ensure justice is served. So, first of all,
So
welcome, sir, to our
we
podcast.
are a bit
I would
far,
like to
but we are
start
catching up with
the
the
conversation
outside world.
by you giving us an
The main
overview
challenge
of
which
the laws in
today's
India
industry
and
faces
how have they evolved over the
the
years? What has
cost,
been the evolution
basically
of
the
domestic violence laws?
cost
As we see, this act was enacted in the year
proposition.
2005,
The
and
advocates
initially,
today
the victim
they
of
find
domestic
that
violence
the
were
use
completely
of
relied
traditional
on
methods
the
like
sections of
having their
IPC like
juniors and
Section
interns do the
498A,
work is a
wherein
better
they were
way,
only able to
because
file a FIR
the
against the
mindset
respondents,
in Indian
whoever has
litigation
caused
is
them
that
domestic
the
violence.
more we prolong a
But
case,
after
the
the
more we
enactment
get
of
to earn
this
from
act,
it.
now they are
And
getting so many reliefs like
this mentality
residence
should
order,
come to an
protection
end.
order,
Right.
maintenance
Only
order.
then,
So
the cases
initially,
can be
all the
decided
victims
in a
of
quicker
domestic
manner.
violence were
Hmm.
relying on
And
IPC sections,
and we would provide
as I
space
said
for
earlier.
technology to
And
help us
there was a
decide the
need, and
case
as per
faster.
Article 15 of the
Right, right.
Constitution of Act,
And so,
government
like, you
has
know,
the power
as
to
legal
bring any
tech
new
becomes
law
more
for,
common,
especially for
what
the
are some of
protection
the
of the
ethical concerns
women.
that this
So
industry
they have
should
used it at the
keep in
correct time, I
mind,
must say.
Okay.
according to
And
you?
so how does this law, which is protection of women against
Ethical
domestic
conduct
violence,
in a
differ
way.
The
from
ethical
other laws
concerns.
that take
So,
consideration
you
of
know,
domestic
with
violence?
new
Is there
companies
any
coming up, with
difference in
new
those
startups
ones?
coming
Yeah,
up in
definitely
legal
there is a
tech,
difference
what are some
between
of the
Domestic
ethical
Violence Act and
concerns do you
another
think
laws.
are there which
As we
should be
see
kept in
that the name
mind,
of this
which
act
should
is
be addressed
Protection
by
of
these
Women from Domestic
companies?
Violence Act 2005,
Yeah.
and the word used
Basically,
is
the
women.
first and
Yeah.
foremost, the
So
most
whoever
important
who
would
is
be data
married, or
privacy.
Yeah.
if any girl is
Keeping
staying with her boyfriend or parents,
how to manage the
whoever
data,
is
how to
staying
keep
in
it
share household or
safe,
are in domestic
and
relationship,
how to
can file a case
actually
under
help
Section
the
12 of the
advocates and the
DV
law firms to
Act,
deploy
and
the
wherein
already
this
existing
act
data.
is
Right.
The
made or
second key
enacted
issue
in the
is
year
helping the
2005, and
lawyers to
after that they
migrate
all
from
are getting
traditional
the
files
reliefs
to
like
the digital
maintenance
files.
Okay.
and protection order.
These are two
Okay.
things
So, like you
which
mentioned,
the new
this
upcoming
act is not
law
just
tech
limited
companies
to a
should
married household. household,
keep in
but it
mind.
can be
Got
extended
it.
to
Got it.
any shared household. Is that
And
correct?
do you have any
Yeah.
closing
Even
Any
if
women,
statement,
any
even
women.
anything
if a
that you
woman
would
is
like to
living with her
say?
parents, she can
Because
also go
we're
and
coming
complain.
towards the end
Is
of
this
Definitely.
our podcast.
okay? That's interesting to know.
Yeah,
The
sure.
in-laws can
The
file a case
future of
against
law is actually
daughter-in-law
digital,
Oh,
and
okay.
those who
Achha.
will embrace the
Mother-in-law.
technology
Okay,
will survive
that is
the
interesting. I did
next
not know that.
generation.
Right,
What are the
right.
forms of domestic
I
violence
completely agree
recognized
with you.
under Indian law?
And that brings
And
us to
do
the
they
end of
go
today's
beyond
discussion on
physical
the
abuse
future of legal
also?
tech in India. We've explored
Yeah,
everything from
initially domestic
AI-driven legal
violence
tools
meaning
and online
for
dispute
layman was
resolution
like
to the challenges
only
of adapting
physical
traditional
violence.
legal
Yeah.
frameworks to
But
this
there are the
fast-paced digital
definition
world.
of
A
domestic
big thank
violence
you to
is
you, Advocate
discussed in
Vinayak
Section
Bhatia, for
3
sharing
of the
such
said act,
valuable
Mm.
insights
which
and
speaks
shedding
about
light
domestic
on
violence
how
under its
technology is
types.
not
So
just a
there are four types
disruptor
of
but a
domestic violence,
catalyst for
like physical
positive
violence,
change in the
economic
legal
violence,
system, in the
sexual
legal
violence,
sector.
Right.
and
As we
mental
look ahead,
violence.
it's clear that
Okay.
embracing legal tech isn't just an
And
option, it's a
what are the
necessity for staying
immediate
relevant and
remedies that
efficient
are
in an
available to a
increasingly
victim
digital
of
world.
domestic
For our
violence?
listeners, if you're
So, what
navigating
can
the
be done
legal
immediately?
landscape or thinking about integrating
If at
tech
all, if
into your
any
legal
woman is
practice,
suffering
now is
any
the time to
kind
adapt
of
and
domestic
innovate.
violence from
Thanks for
any of the
tuning in, and
respondents, so
don't
that
forget
would
to
be husband,
subscribe, leave a review, and
mother,
share this episode with
even
anyone
father
interested
or
in the future of law
boyfriend,
and
and
technology.
if she is suffering
Until
from any
next
type of
time,
violence,
stay informed
she
and stay
immediately
ahead.
has to
Thank you so
file a
much again.
complaint